Ooh, the breeze feels good. But why is it on the tarp? Why is it on the ground? My redneck, a flash dry. 9 almost 10. That's excellent. That is what we want. That's the rock and roll number there. Let's go with, we lost maybe an average of 4% moisture content. And welcome back, Fire Addicts, to an episode of Travis Firewood. And today I want to share with you what this mess is all about. So you may have seen this in a previous episode, this tarp of splits. Now, what is this exactly? Well, for those interested, I think this is a good idea, but just hear me out. There will be some action in here. It won't be me talking. Just hang on. Just whoa. Don't hit stop. Don't hit next. Bear with me. This right here is split cedar kindling, okay? Split cedar kindling, as well as this stuff here is small little pieces and chunks, slivers of the Douglas fir that is coming from this pile that's over here that you saw before. So, but why is it on the tarp? Why is it on the ground? Why is it in piles? Well, I'll show you. So I have a little bit over here, and in here are some slabs, a few slabs. Now, if you watched my channel before, you know that I make cedar kindling. I don't bundle kindling as a byproduct. I literally split and prepare cedar kindling. So, and when I do so, what I do is I split the cedar rounds into slab like this type thing, and then I stack them to dry. And then when I need kindling, then I split these down to size, and they're good to go. Well, what I've done in the past is I have done this, and I have stacked them in my back 40, which is covered. If you see over here in the back here, it's way back in there, and you see above you, there's a bunch of trees. It's all trees back there, and it's all shade. It's shade, and it's not ideal for drying firewood. So what I've done is I have used my timber champ. You've seen that before on the channel, and I split up a bunch of cedar kindling, and then I measured it. Okay, I measured it with my trusty general moisture meter, right? I think a lot of us have these, not a big deal. And it was at like 21, 20, 16. And I'm like, that's maybe upwards of 22 split. And you could burn it 22, but this is kindling. This is stuff to start your fires. And I'm like, let me see if I can get that a little bit drier. So I split a whole bunch and I laid it out on this tarp. Now this tarp is dark. It's black. So in theory, kind of like asphalt on a road, the black will radiate heat, kind of like not a good idea to wearing a dark shirt when it's sunny outside, not a good idea. But with kindling in wood, my theory is my redneck kiln. So this is how I'm drying the cedar kindling just for a few days, not for a very long time. And what I'm going to do is to see if this actually works, to see if my theory, my idea actually works to do a quick dry of the kindling. Now, if this was freshly split cut cedar, I don't think this would work. But this has been split for several months, just not in an environment, not in a stacking situation where it's conducive to drying. So this is like a flash dry, a flash kiln dried by way of the sun. I mean, firewood gods approved. This is not satire, but I'm just saying the firewood gods approve of this message, of this method. But I want to see if it actually works. I had this in my hand. I don't want to point at you and stab you here, but I want to test this, okay? I want to test this. So what we're going to do here is pan down real quick, okay? So you pan down, and I have my trusty kindling chunker. What is this thing called again? I forget. Anyway, so I have a few slabs here, and these are directly from my pile in the back. So I'm going to cut these just in half, and we're going to see where the moisture content is currently. So that's one. We'll save that. It went like, you hate that when you split something and you can't put it back together like a puzzle. Okay, that's one. And two. All right, so we have our 2 pieces here. Let's turn on the general. There's a half right there. That's the 2 pieces. So in here, it's gonna measure. That's at 14. Still good. That's still rock and rolling. And that's at 14 again. So still under 20. Still seasoned, and it feels dry. So that's that piece there. The other piece that we just split, let's test that one. It's probably similar. Okay. Maybe I'm splitting hairs here, but I want to make sure that I'm providing a quality product to my customers, okay? So they can start their fires. This one here is at, you see they're not, that's a 9, that's really good. At 9. So I think this was at the top of the stack. Nonetheless, those 2 pieces are a bad example. I don't want to be accused of lying, but just take my word for it. Some of these slabs were at 16 and above, upwards of 20. Now again, those are good numbers, but I wanted to see if I can get them a little bit lower. So let's just randomly take a few pieces and measure them to see if the sun made any difference. Now these have been in the sun for two full days. 2 full days, but then last night we had a rain and there's still puddles on the tarp, which is not good for drying, right? But I still want to measure. So let's see how this does.
So we have this piece here, this piece here, this piece over here. Oh, I took some water. This piece here and this piece right here. Okay, so we have 4 pieces.
Randomly taken. Now these are all cedar. We will measure the ones that are fir in a second. So these are on here. I'll put them on here so you can see them. Okay. So then this piece here, just check it out. This one's at 12. Okay. Still, that's excellent. That's above what we had at 14 just now. That's still good. Okay. This piece here, let's measure it. That's at 9, almost 10. That's excellent. That is what we want. That's the rock and roll number there. That's one there. 11. Still pretty good. So let's go with average of 10% on those pieces that were drying. And again, just a reminder, this is the piece that we just split that was from the pile back there, and that is at 14. So let's go with hypothetically here, or maybe scientifically, however you want to measure it. Let's go with, we lost maybe an average of 4% moisture content just by having this wood out in the open, out in the sun and the wind, the breeze. Ooh, the breeze feels good. And to dry that a little bit further, just a little bit more. So, because this stuff here is to build the fire, to make the fire, to start the fire. And we want to get this as dry as possible to help people, maybe even help ourselves, to start our fires and not have to fight with it, not have to fuss with it, to start the fires and do it one time and not multiple times, so we can get warm or enjoy the snap, crackle, and pop of the fire at the campsite. So, does that make sense? Was that helpful, useful, insightful? You let me know down in the comments. Now, we over here, put sunglasses back on because it's so bright. Down here, you see this, right? Down here we have some dog fur. Now this stuff here is just a byproduct. This stuff here is what I just split and still I think usable, burnable, and dog fur has some good pitch in it, some good sap in it. Start good fires, right? So I'm gonna alter my non-premium cedar kindling bundles to be non-premium kindling. Okay, so I have my $10 bags of premium cedar kindling. Then I'm going to alter because I'm going to fuse this this dog fir and other softwoods in with the uglies of the cedar kindling splits, and that's going to be a part of my altered non-premium kindling. No longer non-premium cedar kindling. It's going to be non-premium just kindling. So, and I think that's going to work out. So anyway, so these are really pretty thin splits, as you can see here. I'm just going to test this out real quick, and this is going to be at 9. It's not too bad. It's good to go. That's at 13. This one's at 18. It's still good. Here's the thickest one. That's at 12. So this stuff here The stuff that I've been splitting, definitely not seasoned. Okay, not seasoned, but because this is thin enough and it's been out in the open, out in the sun on the tarp, this has gone from being in around wet and full of water to now ready to be helpful to start a fire. So now some of you who have watched my channel before have maybe noticed that there has been wood. There has been wood on top of this shelter. So if you zoom in right there, there's wood up there. Wood up there too. That roof, so that roof is made of the same tarp that's on the ground here. I know it is not ideal, but it is what it is. And I have thrown kindling up there to dry for a week. I've thrown other pieces of wood, including the duck fur, up there now. Those are bonfire rounds, hopefully dry faster. And again, the redneck kiln using the power of the sun and the wind to dry that faster. And now it's still stacked more or less up there. I don't want to stack a whole bunch up there, but it's not in a big pile, not in a big stack. So that's my way of kind of fast drying wood. Not a lot, but just enough so I can keep the rotation of wood going. I want to know what you do. Yes, I have plans for a kiln. I've been meaning to build. It's just time is never on my side, and it blows. It is what it is. But I think those of you who are parents with young kids, you understand. So, but I want to know: do you have a kiln? How do you try to fast dry any of your wood in your wood yard, either for yourself or for selling? I want to know down in the comments. Now, because this wood is all good to go here, I think we try to do some bundles and some bags. You ready? You want to help me? No? You don't want to help me? All right, I'll do it myself. Let's get the bagger and the jig and the bags. Let's do it. So I didn't get all of the cedar kindling bundled or bagged, but I think you get the gist. Even though we were on a time lapse that kind of did take kind of long, and that's partially my fault. Partially, I don't have a bagging system. I have this bundler jig that I use for my firewood bag or bundles, and then I have a sled that I insert into the cedar kindling bags, and then I stuff it full. And that takes a little bit more time. Now, let me know down in the comments if you think that I should either make or buy a bagging station. It doesn't matter what company or brand, but do you think that that would help my operation? I think I'm pretty efficient, but would be a little bit more efficient, be beneficial for my wood yard. Let me know down in the comments. So I had a partial bag already done. So I used somebody to fill up that bag. That's around the corner. So I got one full bag from the group. And then we have, see, a grand total of 1, 2, 3, and 4 bundles of non-premium kindling. So you may be wondering, if you haven't seen my channel before, what was I doing trying to sort? Well, so I call it non-premium because anything that is curvy, non-premium. Anything that has a knot in it, non-premium. Anything that is tapered, non-premium. Anything that's straight and looks good, that is premium kindling. So that goes in the bag. Anything that is non-premium, hence all the defects, that goes into the bundle jig that is bundled here for kindling. So the bundles here sell for $5. The bags, a premium that you see right there, it goes for 10. For 10, and then that includes the bag. And the bags are at 0.75 cubic feet. I get my bags from Northern Woodsman, good company. And so, yeah, that's just money in the bank. I think that kindling is the way to go. Not everyone sells kindling. Not everyone produces kindling. If they do sell it or package it, it's a byproduct of their splitting process. Me, I literally, I make and process kindling on purpose from using from cedar. Now I'm incorporating Doug fir because I have it, and now I'm getting little what kerf, I think it's called, kerf, slack. What's that term when the byproduct of the splitting? Anyway, I'm getting it from the 1165V nowadays because that's my new splitter, and it does create some small slivers that are great for kindling. So using a tarp like this that you see here, I think is helpful. Not ideal by any means. You don't want to lay it down for too long, or you'll kill your grass. But I think it's helpful in terms of using the sun, natural energy, and you use the radiant heat from the black, dark surface going up. Now, you can use visqueen, you can use black plastic, you can use any types of a dark tarp material, even roofing, because that's black, usually black, or dark gray, or dark brown. The color will radiate heat upwards and out, and that will dry your firewood, or in this case kindling, a lot faster. So you let me know in the comments if this is a good idea or it's a flop, or maybe maybe you are going to incorporate it into your own wood yard. I don't know, something different, something unique. But I just wanted to full circle. If people have seen wood that's been on top of the woodshed over there, yes, that's I have done that, and it's tended to worked out. So money in the bank with the kindling, you see over here. I'll put that up the west end right now, and then I'll probably store the rest of this so it's good to go for the next time to be bundled. Anyway, rock and roll. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. That's it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Remember, life is short to be a prick, so be kind to another. Rock and roll. Stay safe. Keep cutting. Cheers.